ready?
Yeah. Originally, the cliffhanger ending was just kind of a joke. I mean, we did that quite a few times. Basically, what we wanted for the sequel was we didn't want to make it a terrible, disastrous sequel like so many sequels end up being. We wanted it to not really feel like a sequel per se. We wanted it to feel more like a continuation of the first one, which was our intention.
But be zoomed in on my face a bit, like not all the way, but
Okay, it's recording.
Jesse directed the first one. I thought he did a great job.
It wasn't that hard. We basically thought of everything we wanted to do first.
But for the second one, we wanted it bigger. We wanted it longer, more characterization. We wanted more of everything, basically, and it just became too much for just one of us to direct and do other things. So we basically just split down the middle and said, okay, Jesse, you direct the scenes with me as a zombie, and I'll direct you in the scenes where it's just you or it's less zombie, more of him. And so basically ended up just being a split right down the middle of both of us directing it. I still wrote the script. I had the script written before we started filming this time. So unlike the first one where it was really spur of the moment, this one we actually planned it quite a bit. We just started off as test footage, so we didn't really think much about it. So we started off just using the Nerf gun. It worked fine. But then when we realized it came time to do the sequel, we wanted way better weapons. So we just said, you know, let's use BB guns because those work pretty good and they look more like a real weapon.
It actually looked like it fell over at the end.
We just wanted to have the guard have more character because it would add a bit more to the movie.
The first one, it was just threw him in for the zombie to interact with. We were learning the story of the zombie's origins.
The first one we didn't give him much characterization because it was just sort of a beginning and you didn't really know who he was, he just sort of showed up there.
But in the second one, we really wanted to start out with, you needed to know how much the zombie was affecting the guard. You know, it starts with the dream sequence and we really get to see how the guard's being terrorized by his situation, what that happened with him. And basically we wanted to further that. We wanted to see what was he going to do about it. Well, he wanted to go take care of the problem, make sure it was done with. And I think that whole bit with him in his apartment room where he talks to his boss on the phone and he's on the walkie-talkie, we're really seeing how he's an actual character now rather than just a bystander.
Yeah?
For the effects, we tried to use some more household products. We went into the cupboard and my mom helped us. We used seafood sauce for the intestine. But I think we did go a little overboard with the black makeup. It was just a little too much on the face. So that didn't actually make us limit the zombie screen time. That just kind of was how it worked out, was we saw a lot less of the zombie this time. Which I think may have been one of the weaknesses of the sequel. But overall I think we still accomplished what we set out to do, which was establish this as a series and make it a little bit up from the first one. The zombie makeup had a bit more difficulty this time. We used some more of the food products, which made it a little stickier for me, and it got the shirt really crispy and dried out, and it gave it a good look, but it made it not so great for me.
That looked bad.
Yeah. Wanted to make the dream sequence longer than what we originally thought because it would be cool to have a big majority of the second one open with the dream sequence, and the fact that the rest of the movie was not as exciting, and the dream sequence was pretty exciting compared to the rest.
I actually wasn't in the zombie makeup yet. We were doing that earlier. And so we just kind of did some trick shots of just my hand covered in dirt and some berries and stuff.
Yeah, I can see your hand now.
I was still in the shirt, I just didn't have the makeup on, but we wanted to keep the zombie more secretive so you didn't really know where he was. He was kind of jumping around. It was a dream sequence after all, so it could play with the physics of it a bit.
Okay, now I'm going over here.
The old tripod was broken, so we couldn't use that very much.
Oh, the tripod. Well, that was a problem. You put the camera on, tilt it sideways, forward, backwards, side, other side, fall over.
Okay. But you have to be like back there still shooting, but be out of ammo. To be like, okay, yeah.
Okay.
And
So cold.
oh crap, thing.
How is he good? Oh, the camera fell.
So basically, every time we tried to film something, we'd end up getting the ground, the sky.
Because the tripod had so many problems, it actually gave us kind of more freedom in a way to get cooler camera angles. Like, we got a lot more lower shots looking up at the zombie, which made him look more intimidating at points, especially when he eats the cat. And of course, in the first one, we get the cool shot of us running towards the camera while it's at ground level. And just certain things like that made it a little bit more interesting to watch. We deviated from the script, especially the second half, quite a bit because we realized it was either just way too much to do for the second one or it just was unfilmable.
The cat eating. Well, that was my idea.
Marty, my cat, was just hanging around and
The cat kept walking around on the set whenever we were trying to film something, and so I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna get Clayton to eat the cat. It'll be great.
Jesse said, "Hey, remember how you wrote in the third script that we were gonna have you eat a cat?" And I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, let's do that right now." I said, "Yeah, okay, sure." So I grabbed Marty and we just filmed that scene where I just hold him, shake him around, and then cut to him gone. And I spew all the blood.
Okay, now I'm gonna drop him. Now this,
No, we just show like you just splatter a bunch of cranberries on the ground and
okay, no, I'll be holding a handful, and
Actually, as it turned out, that was, I think, the best scene of the sequel, really, and got a really good response to that scene. It was quite amusing watching everyone laugh.
is it done?
We were finishing up, and I spilt all the mix of the berry, the Jello powder, the everything. I spilt it all on the deck in just a big puddle, and I just was like, oh. And so, I mean, we had to clean up, but I thought, hey, let's take advantage of this. So I just told Jesse, turn the camera on and film it, and zoomed in on it.
Use it on this. Zoom right in on that only.
And as it turned out, that ended up being the opening credits, which I thought was really cool. It's just like a big puddle of blood, and then it pulls back, and then zombie steps into it. I thought that was a great opening.
chunky.
We wanted to have a definite ending where Guard was safe. He was done for that episode, but he was being left in a place where the audience would be thinking, well, how's he going to get out now? You know, I mean, he's locked in the shed. Yeah, he's got the machine gun, but he's trapped and there's no other way out except that door. And I thought it was really cool to leave it off in there. And I think that shed was just a great location. We knew if we were going to end it that way, we had to do the sequel.
It's gone.
Most of the sound effects, I used quite a few of the same ones from before, mostly the ripping sounds. Some other ones I re-recorded, such as whereas when I ate the cat, I recorded me eating an apple up close and eating crackers, and I mixed that in with actually a Looney Tunes clip from a cartoon where the coyote releases a wildcat on the sheepdog, and he goes crazy and he makes this great like "Wah!" sound. I thought that was awesome, so I stuck that in there too. You can kind of hear it, but yeah, I like little moments like that. Some points we filmed the same shot like 2 or 3 different angles, so we could, when I edited it, we could edit all together and make it one continuous scene, but from different points of view. But that kind of made it a little more trickier in editing because you had to be more precise. Like if he runs around the building and you show it from 3 points, you have to make sure you don't see him running at the same point twice or 3 times, or you miss a scene. And that wasn't quite as much of a problem in the second one, but definitely more in the third one. I had a lot more of that.